Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to speak on something very important. The United States and other places around the world are suffering from a plague of uncleanliness. We have teachers that promote defiling our land, Dallas Seminary theologians, for example, condoning remarriage and adultery. Last night, I heard Alex Jones, a radio talk show host on internet radio, talking to a caller. And the caller asked him about his marital situation. I guess it was a marital situation. The guy said that his wife was cheating on him, and he had children. That's part of his circumstances. And Alex Jones, he reminds me of a pig. He really does. He advised this guy to keep his woman that was cheating on him and take her to a good church. I don't know what his idea of a good church is, especially in our apostate times. For the children's sake. Well, if he really wanted to do something for the children, he should want them to be established upon a good foundation, a clean foundation, a foundation that is not built upon fornication and uncleanliness. It's very disturbing that we live in such a world that so many people don't know what to do about marriage. They don't even know the principles of getting married to begin with, most of them. If they would learn those basic principles and principles of foundation of marriage, a lot of distress and problems down the road could be prevented. Now let me read something to you. America needs to do some house cleaning. Its couples need to really look at their marital situation and see if they are living according to God's principles. Is their marriage really acceptable to God? Is it a biblical marriage, or is it a fornication situation? And whatever the situation, uncleanliness is never an answer for no one, for the couple, for the children, for anyone. The foundation has to be built upon cleanliness and approval of God. The consequences when a woman commits adultery are severe. The defilement of her marital relationship is irreparable. Once a woman messes up and flirts with a guy and lets him defile her, she's ruined her whole marital situation. She's insulted her children and her husband, and there's no way he can make the house clean then. So this cheating business should never be tolerated. She cannot be restored to her former family because of uncleanliness. Deuteronomy 24, verse 4. So, and that's what we have in America today in a lot of homes. We have a disgrace. We have unclean women that say they're married to the men, which it's not really an acceptable marriage. It's not a clean marriage. And they should learn to separate and disannul these marriages and live single, and let the children go with the better parent, the one that the moral parent. Do things for children, not against children. I wish men and women would realize how serious the sanctity of a marital relationship is. It is essential to family unity, especially when raising children. When the sanctity of a marital relationship is broken, it afflicts everyone in the family. When a woman cheats on her husband to the degree of physical defilement, the premise for divorce is precipitated. Then the only remedy is to put away the adulteress. It is very difficult for children to live without their mother, but nevertheless, it is better for the children to live with one parent than to have to live in an unclean house wherein the adulterous woman is imposing her disgrace upon the whole family. Now there's the answer to the whole situation. Get rid of the unclean woman, even though it's hard on the children. The male parent, if he has the morality to do so, should raise them without a mother and teach them holy things of the Bible. Now we live in a society where this fornication and uncleanliness is almost acceptable to society today and to the mainstream churches. And children are being raised up in a social environment that is not spiritual. It is satanic. It's a hog pen religion. And as individuals that want to serve Jesus, Christians must raise their family in a clean environment, and they need to separate from society and from these mainstream churches that condone this kind of living. Many erring Christians today try to make their own communities and cult communities, and people are going into that, and they're keeping their fornication or their uncleanliness, and this is very bad. If you have to look at it from a perspective of the early church, the early Christians went out to spread the gospel. They didn't have the Hotel Hiltons to stay at. They didn't have McDonald's. They just went and expected God to take care of them. And they took the gospel and they promoted clean living, and they called people out of society, out of a defiled environment. And so Christians cannot really expect to build clean communities because we are so outnumbered. There are far less Christians than there are evil people and sinners. And just getting the people out of the evil society is a great thing, and keep people from evil, and teach them how to protect their families from being perverted and defiled and unclean. And sure, it's good for us if we can to gather on maybe the same properties, big farms or something, and under the principle of cleanliness, and keep out fornication. But we can't do it in an American real estate sense. I mean, American laws would not permit a Christian to kick someone out of their community because of uncleanliness today. And like I mentioned before, some of these unclean cult communities, they don't have to worry about that. They have just what they want. They have part of their sin and part of the Bible too, and it's very confusing for people. We need to look at the situation, folks, from the biblical point. Are we serving God? Are we living to serve God and get out of an evil social environment? Or are we staying in the pig pen and keeping religion that really isn't acceptable to God? Read my sermons. They can really help you in this. Have a great day.